How do you sell life insurance in a country where talking about death is taboo? Well, you don't. You sell something else. But what exactly? This is the story of how global capitalism met one of the oldest cultural taboos in China and still won. In the 1990s, foreign insurance giants stormed into China with billion-dollar dreams, but they hit a wall, not made of laws or logistics, but of culture. Because in China, death isn't a product, it's taboo. So how did life insurance become one of China's fastest-growing industries? How do you sell protection against something no one will even admit might happen? Life insurance is supposed to be simple. You pay a little each month to protect your loved ones in case something happens. It's not exciting, it's not emotional, it's just logic. That's how it works in most parts of the world. In the US, Europe, even places like Japan, life insurance is seen as responsible, a sign you care about your family, that you plan ahead. But China was different. In Chinese tradition, death isn't something you talk about. It's a heavy subject, surrounded by superstition, fear, and silence. People avoid writing wills, avoid hospital discussions. Even saying the word death out loud, especially in a business context, can make people uncomfortable. One company executive called it a stupid superstition. But it wasn't superstition, it was something deeper. A way of protecting harmony, of shielding family life from dark thoughts, of believing that what you speak you might bring to life. So when a stranger knocks on your door and asks, "What will happen to your kids if you die tomorrow?" most people didn't think, "Oh, that's a smart question." They thought, "Who the hell are you? And why are you cursing me?" Sales agents were kicked out of buildings. Shops posted signs, "No life insurance salespeople allowed." Nobody wanted to buy. Nobody wanted to sell. And yet, from the mid-1990s to the early 2000s, China's life insurance market exploded. Growth rates hit 30% per year. Hundreds of billions of yuan poured in. So how did it happen? What changed? Or maybe, what didn't? So here's the twist. The culture didn't change. The people didn't suddenly embrace the idea of death. And insurance companies didn't give up. They adapted. Domestic firms, especially Ping An, figured it out first. They stopped selling death protection and started selling life enrichment. Instead of saying, "What happens when you die?" they asked, "Do you want to build savings for your child's future? Do you want to prepare for retirement? Wouldn't it feel good to have peace of mind?" The product was still life insurance, but the pitch was about love, duty, security, legacy. They didn't fight the taboo. They walked around it. And the agents? They weren't your typical salespeople. They were often your cousin's friend, your co-worker's sister, someone in your circle, someone who could lean on guanxi, the Chinese system of relationships, favors, and mutual obligation. You didn't buy because the policy made financial sense. You bought because someone you knew said, "Don't do it for you, do it for your kids." And that's how sales happened, not through logic, through emotion. Meanwhile, foreign firms like AIA stuck to their models. They trained agents to use charts, statistics, risk models, but the clients weren't listening. They didn't want numbers. They wanted trust. Domestic companies realized something powerful. If you can't sell people a product, sell them a story. And the story they told was this: you're not buying insurance. You're buying love in advance. You're making sure your children will have a better life, no matter what happens. Over time, people started buying, not because they believed in the product, but because they believed in what it represented: care, protection, responsibility. The result? A market with Chinese characteristics. Foreign companies eventually adjusted. Some localized their sales teams. Some started using emotional storytelling. But the early advantage belonged to those who listened, not just to the market, but to the people inside it. In the West, life insurance started as a way to manage risk. In China, it began as a way to show love without having to say something uncomfortable. That difference tells us something important. Markets don't just grow from numbers, they grow from meaning. And meaning is always cultural. So the next time you hear someone say business is business, remember this story. Because in China, life insurance didn't just sell peace of mind, It sold a feeling, a way to say I love you in a culture where those words are rarely spoken. This wasn't just marketing, it was marketing death, without ever saying the word.